The exodus of the best brains from Nigeria has again come to the fore and now taking a different dimension. This was as the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TETFUND, revealed that over 137 students sponsored on scholarship abroad absconded. The Executive Secretary TETFUND, Sonny Echono, revealed this when he appeared before the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating the alleged mismanagement of 2.3 trillion naira tertiary education tax by TETFUND. According to Echono, the scholars who were sponsored by TETFUND for higher education abroad refused to return to the country after completing their programs. Echono says some of the scholars that have been sponsored unpatriotically, when they go, they enjoy the scholarship, acquire higher education, then refuse to come back to the country. He adds that it has become a major crisis. To discuss this, we're joined by Dr. Tuyi Mebawondu, a public affairs analyst. Thank you very much for giving us your time. The TETFUND scholarship plan is that beneficiaries come back to contribute to the nation building. Now, we hear over 137 of them, they've all absconded. Some people say this is not new, but only came to the public because TETFUND Executive Director is seeking the help of the legislature for more stringent measures to stop this trend. What is your reaction to this development?
Yeah, thank you, Felicity. Matter of fact, it is not a new thing that people will go on training and will not come back. We must not forget to focus on what we call the push factor and the pull factors in trying to attract the best brains, to any country. Now, the new weapon of warfare is intelligence and intellectualism. So, any country tries as much as possible to attract the best brain to function in their own other science or even social science arena, or even help the economy. But what we've seen in Nigeria, there's a lot of push factors that is preventing a lot of people from coming back home. There must have been a bond, structured bond that allows you to go out and come back in such a way that you have to fulfill those bonds, as it is. If the TETFUND refuses to tidy those bonds and allow people to come back, most of the time, they actually go from institutions of higher learning here or go from centers that they have to come back to those centers to contribute and fulfill their quota of the agreement. If that is not tidied up, we are bound to see most of this things happening. Now, the environment in the country is such that it prevents a lot of people from coming back. There are a lot of negativity, insecurity. People are not having the right pay for the education they've gotten or the service they render. And then they cannot be assured of requisite equipment to do all the work they want to do. This will be a serious disincentive for them to return back to the country. And if in another country, if they have so many things to do and they're having access to other research, scholarship, and other things to advance their career progression, they are bound to embrace it. So what TETFUND needs to do is not just starting to look at the way to stop the foreign scholarship, because in reality, they need to create that kind of environment that we want people to want to stay back, return to the country, and contribute their quota. If those environments are not created, you can train everybody, you can put all the laws there. Once they go, they will not come back. Now, and there's no way any foreign country will help you to force anybody that doesn't want to come back to Nigeria to come back to Nigeria. It's not within their purview, it's not within their own scope. So here in Nigeria, we have to figure out how to ensure that these people come back. And the push factor is what we need to address.
Doctor, it's not El Dorado anywhere. And when you sign a contract as somebody with some principle and some decency, the onus lies with you. They're not saying come back indefinitely. They're saying come back and share the knowledge that you have. It's a collective effort. Mr. Echono is also saying that consultations are ongoing to suspend foreign scholarship as a result of this and other issues. He is saying that this is done, the training will be done locally in Nigeria to help retain revenue. The question is this not tantamount to killing an ant with a sledgehammer, considering the value of education acquired abroad?
It was the last president that talked about body language. If you sit down and look at the way even our leadership respond to court orders, the way they respond to obeying the laws of the federation, of course, playing along and respect and putting the nation as number one, you tend to think that if these people that are at the top of the decision making, I can now do this too in terms of decision. What do I have to lose? Okay. A lot of impunity is on the ground, and you don't expect anybody to now be so different from the greater things happening in Nigeria. What I think essentially is that Mr. Echono should really sit down with his team and whoever is involved to craft a law or even a bond that can actually be useful and make sure that those people come back. You don't just forcefully bring people back again. You are not going to get the best of them. But the thing is simply that you must create an environment that will make them want to come back. And let's face it, if you say because of that you want to cancel foreign education, tell you what, even countries that are developed, China is spending a lot of money to train their scientists, even in America. A lot of countries are spending huge, Japan is spending money, a lot of money to send their best brain to where
Doctor,
they can get
you keep harping on us creating the right environment. So I'm going to put it to you. When you say create the right environment, how can we do that?
Look at the university. Hello. Look at the university. Now, you put, for instance, most of this brain that you're sending abroad, they're going to work in your university or work in your research institutions. What is the fund there for even doing research? Secondly, look at your university. What is the remuneration? How are they protected? People enter there and kidnap some of your lecturers and even your professors. These are these are critical things that you must be able to create that environment in terms of equipment, in terms of building the capacity of their research institutions, in terms of assuring their comfort, security in the country. You must be able to create that environment and then networking them with other people that are into research all over the world. You cannot bring them. I can tell you for free. Yes, I schooled in the University of Ife those days, and we had quite a lot of people that came back from US, from everywhere to come and teach in the university.
Quickly.
Then they left. They left after a short period of time. Even then, they left because the kind of thing their capacity is constrained by what they see and what they have in the house.
All right. Quickly, in the interest of time, let me just ask you this, because that's in the public domain. How curious is it, really, that we are only now hearing about this absconding so publicly, because the House of Representative Ad Hoc Committee is investigating alleged mismanagement of 2.3 trillion tertiary education tax by TETFUND, and they summoned the executive secretary. How curious is it?
We're too quick to, look at associations in things that are not associated. If you have 2.3 trillion challenges in terms of tax, returns or whatever, funding of TETFUND, investigate that differently. If people are not coming back, those are two different things. What's the link between them? Okay? It rather shows that even the secretary, Executive Secretary Echono, is not even doing a good work. If as much as 100,000 people can go away, that shows that you're not doing a good work. It has nothing to do with the money.
All right, Dr. Tuyi Mebawondu, thank you so much for giving us your time.
My pleasure, Felicity, always.